Hello, this is George Latos with Be Local Lakewood Ranch and MoveMe.com. Today we're here with Amy Lou of Amy Lou Interiors, and we'll be talking to her about designing here in Lakewood Ranch. Hello, Amy, and welcome to our video.
Hi, George. Thank you so much for having me.
In just over 8 years, Amy Lou Interior has gone from staging homes to a team of 8 professionals operating out of a 3,000 square foot warehouse on office space. They've come a long way from their humble beginnings, with notable achievements such as being featured in Architectural Digest and gracing the cover of Home and Design Luxury magazine. Their clientele includes celebrities like Angela Bassett and athletes like Scott Rowland, as well as collaborations with home builders and real estate agents. Their accolades also include 3 consecutive Howe's Best Design Firm Awards and 3 years in a row winning the Parade of Homes for Best Outdoor and Indoor Designs. Amy Lou Interiors is an award-winning boutique-style interior design firm known for its outstanding work and dedication to its clients' needs. So Amy, when did you first get involved in design?
I would say really involved was right before we moved here when I lived in Texas. But when I fell in love with design was even when I was a little girl. I have a joke that I played with Barbie till I was in the 6th grade just so I could decorate their house. So I always had the love of that. Even when I moved out when I was younger, my friends would come over and they're like, you look like you have an old lady's house because it's just like so meticulously done. But one day I was on the way to work to like my job working for someone else. And I was listening to Les Brown on the radio and he said, think outside of the box. You know, if you want to do what you really love, think outside the box. So I basically posted something on Facebook saying, I'll do this for you for free if you give me the chance to add to my portfolio. And then I guess the rest is history. Everyone found, then I found myself that had a natural talent that, you know, you just can't learn. And I've been doing homes ever since then. And then when we got to Florida, we started with home staging business. And then it's just people were going in and not buying the homes, yet they were calling me, seeing my card there saying, hey, you know, I know you staged this home, but can you come and decorate my home as well? Or can you do my home as well? And then just spread by word of mouth. And then we even started getting celebrities and calls from A&E TV. So it just blew up very quickly.
That's great practical experience. It's interesting how success seems to find the right people. So let me ask you this. We have a lot of designers here in this area because of all the growth. What do you think sets you apart from a lot of these other designers?
I'm very passionate about what I do. I've literally gotten jobs because people have told me, out of everyone I interviewed, you were the most exciting about it and you were the most passionate about it. So I would say my passion and the team that I've hired also represents that passion. I would also just say that we're more of a boutique style design firm. So anything that you need or want, we can take care of it for you. You don't have to call a contractor over here or a plumber over here, or you don't have to call a tile guy over here. My husband actually has a remodeling company, so we have this perfect synergy where anything I design, his company, in essence, can take care of. And I would say that 90% of our clients are in another state or another country. So they're not here all the time. They need someone that they can trust to take care of everything. We even had a client that needed the water to get turned on. And we said, hey, we'll be out there for you and make sure that, you know, everything's good. So I think just being that friend to someone who's not here and we really get to know you and become like-minded so that dream that you're trying to put together, that oasis that you are trying to make that you just have no clue how to put together, we're able to put it together for you. And, you know, a lot of designers can do that, but I think it's just that personal touch that we give, being more boutique style, where anything you need, most likely we're not going to say no to. We're going to make a way, we're going to find a way to make it happen for you.
That's a good point, because many of the people that come here to Lakewood Ranch are from out of state. It's higher than 50% of the people that arrive here. And many of them are purchasing new construction homes where there is a substantial lead time. So you've been able to influence some of those builders to allow you to do some of the work in advance?
Yes. You know, we can get the plans from the county. You don't have to worry about that. While you're gone, we have a 3,000 square foot warehouse. So we will house all of your items. We quality check them and house them, and we are responsible for them for you. So you don't have to worry about, okay, we order these things, where do they go? Or, hey, I was supposed to close in July, now it's September. What do I do with these things, So we take responsibility for all of your items. We get in, we get things done because, you get pushed back, I find, in new construction a lot. No one really ever closed on that initial date. So you don't have to worry about that. And while you're out of state and the house is finally closed on, we're going to go in, we're going to make sure it's clean. We're going to make sure it's turnkey, it's perfect. And when you come in, you don't have to worry about anything. And all the stress that you may have gotten, from a builder or from, a closing company, you don't have to worry about that because we're going to make everything as seamless as possible for you. And we are going to help you transition into a new place because that also is very hard.
That is very, very hard. So far, you've basically said to me that you are a one-step shop. So you have this synergy with your husband's business that allows you. Do you ever fight you over your design?
No, we don't. My husband has a saying, happy wife, happy life. So,
Agreed.
So he says I give the directions and he takes them at work anyway, not home.
Okay. But what I find interesting is you've really touched on many of the pain points that most new construction homeowners face. They're out of state. There's a lack of communication, certainly with the builder, trying to get anything done. And having that person in between that can sometimes pick up the slack and create that communication is extraordinarily valuable to someone who's out of state. And then you're preparing the home for when they do arrive. It's going to be what they have, that aspirational feeling.
Right.
What they thought they were going to get, they're getting closer to that when they arrive. That's extremely valuable, and I like what you said there. So walk me through your design process.
So initially, we will meet with a client and do a consultation. We normally send out a pre-client questionnaire so that we get to know the person a little bit better to streamline that 1-hour consultation that they get with us. We see the home, or if it is a new construction, we would meet here in my office and just go over some of those things. Have you picked any finishes yet? Do you need help picking finishes with your builder? So any of those, preliminary things we'll go over. Once you decide to sign a contract with Amy Lou Interiors, we will send you a client questionnaire. And this really helps us get to know you. This is from what type of pillows do you like to sleep on, to you like soft light, low light, any kind of question like that, hobbies. And then we really dive into your family specifically. So we definitely do not do anything cookie cutter. And once we get through this client questionnaire, then we start the floor plans and furniture layouts and things like that. Clients can get those digitally if they live far away, or they can come into the office and see those things. After they approve that, we start working on digital style boards. And this is the fun part for all of us and for clients as well, because they get to come in and we have all the materials and rug samples and tile samples and all these beautiful things laid out and style boards. And I have so many people likening it to Christmas. I literally just got an email this morning from a client, and they have a meeting with us tomorrow. And they're like, I feel like I'm waiting for Christmas morning. I'm so excited to see everything. So we try to make it exciting for the client as well. We'll do a little luncheon here, and they go over all of these things and then get to tell us like, hey, I love this. Hey, I don't love this. Can you switch this out? Can we put these things together? And then that's when we start really, merging everything together and getting the exact pieces that they like. Sometimes we have to go back to the drawing board on some things. Other times people love it as it is. Once they approve everything, then we place the order. Items come in. We have our warehouse, as I mentioned. We quality check those. I just actually had lunch with a designer the other day, and she mentioned that they use an outside service to house their items for, all of their decor and furniture. And they're like, the people are charging you to quality check it, but then, 6 months later, when I go to open it, it's broken and I can't return it because they've been housing it for so long. So you don't have to worry about that with us. Every piece gets quality checked. We house it here. We're responsible for it. And then when the time is right, We go in, we decorate the entire home. We ask the client to be away so they can get that amazing feeling. We normally light the candles, put on the jazz music, have a little bit of hors d'oeuvres and maybe some champagne. And then we just bring them through the house and give them that amazing reveal. And, we know that this is a large expense. So, we want to put that cherry on top at the end to make you so excited, for the choices that you made, the company that you became family with, and, just really help you to love the design process and make it as easy on the client as possible.
So this is an experience.
Yes.
It's not just...
You got it.
It's an experience. One of the things that you did mention, I want to go back to, many of these new construction people are working through the design auspices of the builder. So do you send a professional to accompany them if that's necessary?
Absolutely.
Because oftentimes they're going to have to choose certain things from them initially.
Yes, I've had clients who've made their own decisions with the builder, and most of the builders do give you, a designer, if you will, to help you make selections. I would say half of the people that I've worked with lay in bed at night asking themselves, did I make the right decision? Is that tile going to go with this tile? Is this backsplash going to work with that countertop? And in essence, that designer is going to let you make the decision that you want, but with us, we're going to go in and we're going to hold your hand and we're going to say, I know you love this, but it really doesn't go. They're there really working a lot of times for the builder. And so, for them, everything's beautiful, so I think for us, getting to know your personality and your style, a thing that they're not able to do, and really work behind the scenes with you, we can say, hey, I know that you love this, but are you going to want to look at it every single morning for the next, 5 years? Yeah. So we can come in and really help you pick those selections. Also in mind, already knowing your style, what kind of furniture and what kind of, style that you have throughout the home as well.
Well, the people that we talk to, because we talk to many of the new homeowners that come here, they're all seeking that same thing. They want that aspirational view, but they also need the validation that an experienced designer brings to it. And many people have told me that they'll work within the builder's confines and they'll do something that they think is reasonably good, but then they find that their neighbor, and then the next neighbor, and then the next neighbor, all have the same countertops, all have the same tile. So generally, and then they find frustration in that because, they're excited about their home and they want something unique to that. So I think this gives them an opportunity to find that uniqueness and also get the validation that they're doing something correctly.
Exactly. A home is the most expensive purchase that you're going to make, most likely. And you kind of feel let down when you go next door for a cocktail party and you and your neighbor have the same kitchen. So, having a designer there as your friend to help you to say, hey, you know what? I've done 30 of these backsplashes, in the past 2 years. Don't do it, That's the thing, because you're not seeing, as just a home buyer, you're not going into everyone's home. I am. So because I'm going into everyone's home and I'm going to, the designer shows and things like that, I can say to you, hey, that's going out. Next year, you're going to be so mad at yourself for picking that. So, let me help you on what's going to be classic and what's going to last, but also that your neighbor's not going to have as well.
Okay. One question that I want to ask, I think there's a lot of confusion when it comes to how designers price things. So how do you approach budgeting considerations for people who've never maybe worked with a designer before and are a little bit apprehensive about what the cost might be?
For us, we really don't have a minimum budget, if you will. And I think that's the thing that people who want to hire a designer, they're thinking, oh, I cannot afford a designer. They're thinking, there's no way I can afford a designer. I'm going to have to figure this out on my own. I'm going to have to ask the lady at the furniture store, something like that. It's not true. We actually have packages for clients who maybe you just need us to hold your hand while you're picking tile selections and lighting selections. We have a 3-hour package. If you are saying, you know what, I want some custom drapery, but I don't know how to put this together. I don't know what's going to look good. We have a 10-hour package. If you say, hey, I need everything done, then we do contracts that are a 35-hour minimum. And I like to tell people that 35 hours in the design world is really going to be usually like 2 to 2.5 rooms. So think about hours, not really budget, because we're open to all budgets. I've done homes for celebrities that were like, get it at Home Depot, So don't worry about thinking that your budget's too small. I would say always reach out and get information. Go to our website, look at the services that we offer. You may not need an entire package, but we have something for every budget.
Okay, so I think you've covered a lot of what most people have in mind. So what advice would you give some of the homeowners coming here to Lakewood Ranch?
I would say don't be afraid or scared away by an outdated home. When I first moved here, I felt like the homes were outdated. And I thought, oh my gosh, like every home here that's in my price range is outdated. So you think about so much work that it's going to be, but actually, we can get in and do a job seamlessly for you and make it that perfect home. Don't move in and just be satisfied with, what's there and thinking that's all that you can have. I would also say, look for communities that are going to have the same interests as you. Florida, especially Lakewood Ranch area, Sarasota area, they have amazing communities, amazing builders. And, I think that there's something for everyone here, regardless of age. And regardless of age, I would, reiterate, don't worry about if it's a new construction and you have to take a longer time, or if it's, a complete gut job. You have someone that can help you through all of that process.
Well, that's great, Amy. You've given us some great information to work with. If you want to get a hold of Amy Lou Interiors, it's amylou.com. And again, this is George Latos for Be Local Lakewood Ranch and MoveMe.com. Welcome to our continuing video series, and we'll see you on the next one.